up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are back to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Last night's episode was crazy and chaotic and just a mess. Another mess. Again, more conflict. We start off where we left off. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment at the video you stop by. We're just going to talk through it. I'm not going to really go by scene because it was just really so chaotic. It was not many moments that was very calm. And if it was calm, it didn't last for too long. So they start off where they left off. And Mia and Candiace are arguing back and forth. They're going back and forth. Candiace says, "You better watch yourself," or something like that. And she knocks over these things. She knocks over these crayons that were on the table. And then she says, she's just yelling. And it's like she's crying at the same time. Mia walks away and she says, "I don't have to deal with this dysfunction." Okay, girl. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to deal with the dysfunction that you created, because let's remember, the reason why this lady is upset with you is because you stepped to her mother that you just met, asked about her marital finances, and then proceeded to call her project, her first project that she invited you to, low budget. And now you're upset because she responded to it with "your mama is low budget." And so you've created this dysfunction and now you don't want to be involved in it. Okay, that's okay. She's breaking things. She needs to go. That's what they do at the strip club. She needs to go because Mia, I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was a butter dish. I don't know what that was on the table, but she was like, "My mother was a drug addict," right? So she hits the thing on the table, and Candiace is like, "Girl, I don't care. I don't care. I have been nice to you. I've been nice to you." And she says, "I don't care that you've been nice to me." So at that point, what do you guys do? What do you do when someone says, "I've been nice to you," and you're going to turn around and act like this towards me? I thought you were cool. I invited you to my photo shoot or my video shoot. You talk shit about my video shoot, then talk to my mother and ask some personal shit about me that you and I aren't really that familiar for you to be asking. And I've been nice to you. And now you're telling me I don't care if you've been nice to me. But then you want to turn around and say, "Let me tell you about my mother." I don't give a fuck about your mother. I don't care what your mother went through. And maybe you should have thought about that. How do you know that I don't have issues with being called low budget? Why is it that your little struggle story carries more weight than what I got going on? Why is it okay for you to respond hysterically to your mother being called low budget, but I can't respond hysterically to you calling my project low budget? Girl, what the fuck? That doesn't even make any sense. It makes no sense to me. How do you tell me I don't care that you're being nice to me? I don't care that you're being nice to me. And then in the next breath be like, "Girl, I need to tell you about my mother so that you could feel bad for saying that my mother was low budget." No, I don't feel bad because you don't care that I was nice to you. That doesn't mean anything to you. So whatever you talking, whatever you saying, I don't have nothing to say after that. That's really what should have happened, right? That's what really should have happened. But at the same time, it's like, girl, you want to create all of this dysfunction in this house for what? For what? You come in here acting like you better than everybody. That's crazy. You acting like you're the only one in this group with money. It's weird. It's weird. And then you want to come at every single person. And then when you finally get to Candiace and she snaps back, And now you want to make sure that you modify how she responds to your behavior. Girl, are you crazy? Like, when does that happen, and what sense does that make at all? A lot of girls, like I said last night, a lot of girls are triggered by being called low budget. Nobody wants to be called low budget because you're not saying it. Like, and then that's the other game. We're not playing this game, right? That it's low budget, meaning, oh, she didn't have a high budget because her project is an independent project and she doesn't have distribution and promotion and all the shit that people need in order to push a project. She's doing it herself. You called it low budget to be insulting. And then you're insulting her by coming to her. It's like, it sucks because have you guys ever had an event and had people at your event standing around talking shit about your event, something that you worked really hard on, and people are, girl, this shit is low budget. What the fuck is this shit? This is low budget. But I invited you. I was trying to be nice to you. Well, I don't care if you're being nice to me. But let me tell you about my mom being a drug addict and why you should feel bad for saying she's low budget. No, that doesn't work like that. And we're not going to play those games with you. We're not going to play those games with you. Chris hit the corner. Candiace said she's going to get in trouble. Chris, I'm going to tell you right now. I know it was at the end. Don't put your hand on Candiace in an aggressive way. I know that you can do whatever the hell you want, and she could allow what she wants to allow. But don't put your hands on people. It's not a good look. I did not like the way Chris put his hands on Candiace, trying to get her and remove her from a situation that she didn't create. She didn't even start that conversation. She didn't even start that conversation, and now all of a sudden she needs to remove because she's cussing a bitch out because you done re-triggered a conversation. You done re-triggered a conversation about, bitch, you wrote a character assassination letter on me about something, about an event. You weren't even fucking there. And you did it as revenge. So I got venom for you, bitch. Every single time. I don't even need to be talking to you. That's the crazy part. And you want to remove me because I'm letting this bitch know, bitch, I remembered what you did to me and I'm not going to forget and I don't want to talk about it. And now you want to remove, don't put your hands on me unless I'm about to hurt myself or I'm about to hurt her. Nobody was getting up. Nobody had nothing in their hands. You want to physically remove her from a situation. She doesn't need that. And that's part of the problem now, is that every single time Candiace does anything, someone refers to her as a child. So guess what you're going to get? You're going to get childlike behavior because nobody is allowing this lady to be an emotional person. Nobody is allowing even her to be mad at this woman for saying her project was low budget and then talking to her mama. Nobody's allowing her to do none of that. And when she gets to the point of spitting her venom, now you want to remove her. No, don't touch her like that. That shit is so cringy. And I hope that when he saw that he realized how bad that looks, because she didn't need to be removed. You're making it more than what it needs to be. You're actually adding to it. You're not diffusing it. To Ashley's point, why aren't you diffusing it? Why aren't you attempting to bring order? When you have the agents of chaos and confusion and lies who will sit up and lie. Y'all, I could not believe that Ashley sat up there and lied twice. Lied the first time in the kitchen saying, I know her, I spend more time with her. Then at the table, you threw salad in her face and you was all in her face. You skipped over everything else and retold the story, and then Giselle, who was not even there, agreed with you. So what in the time where you're sitting, these people are causing chaos and confusion, and because your wife is responding to it, you don't need to remove her. You're not bringing order to the situation by doing this and moving her and grabbing her and making her move, and then her resisting because I don't want to be touched. She's a porcupine right now. Don't touch me. Right? And now it looks even worse. You're making the situation worse, sir, by touching me because I don't want to be touched, and now I'm moving like this, right? Right? You need to be bringing order to that and say, listen, Ashley, shut it down. Shut it down. Now, all of a sudden, Ashley wants to address Chris and say, my husband, he's like, I ain't talk shit about your husband. And then when he starts addressing you, your husband, oh, now I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. You don't get to do that. You address me. You're going to continue to talk to me, little lady. You're going to continue. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? And how do you sit at a table and position yourself in defense of a sexual predator and tell the man that he called white trash and his wife who he called a criminal, you're going to tell them that he's mad because of the way Candiace talks about him? And somehow, some way, and Chris, you stupid as hell too, because I want to get to that place with Michael. Why? His wife wrote a character assassination letter against your wife. He's called you white trash. He's called your wife a criminal. Ashley said Candiace has a rap sheet. So you want to be friends with him? Why? Like, that shit is crazy. And from what I heard, child, they said Candiace and the girl, there would be no way that I would make up with her. She's sneaky. Like, she literally wrote a letter against Candiace to get revenge on her. Karen is in the room. We're gonna stand up with dignity and pride. Karen. Oh my God. Karen Huger is so whack to me. She is so whack, y'all. You're going to remember who you are. You're not going to let nobody make you feel cheap or your mother feel cheap. That's like really the conversation you should be having with Candiace. Like, Candiace, you know who you are, girl. You know what you had to do in order to get that video shoot done. You don't let nobody come in here and make your shit feel low budget. You are an independent artist. You did the best that you can. That's could have been the conversation for Candiace. But yet y'all in there rubbing Teddy's hands and rubbing the back of her shoulders and rubbing the back of her head. Like, that shit is, I was like, I literally felt like this should have been the time where they did like the effects where everything was going crazy, because I felt like I was in a gaslighting chamber. That's what I felt like. That shit was so crazy last night, y'all. Nobody can make you feel cheap. And then Wendy comes in. Girl, what? Wendy comes in talking about, don't you allow anyone to take your truth from you. What? And then that's when Mia realized, oh wait, bitch, these girls are really on my side. Oh my God, I don't know what to do about my mother. If she relapses, that bitch better meet me outside. But never mind that you literally brought your mom on a reality show with her little fragile, delicate, compromised sobriety. You bring her on the show, and in every single scene your mother has with you, you make her feel like shit. Right? While you big up your dad, because he really didn't do nothing, but he's okay because in your eyes, him fucking some lady in the basement while you sat upstairs and burned yourself, that's not enough. But I'm going to make my mama cry in every scene. But Candiace saying your mama was low budget, that's going to put her over the edge. Girl, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit, get the fuck out of here. Mia, shut up. That sounds so stupid. I was like, what is going on, y'all? What is happening? Candiace says that Pimp and his concubine need to leave. Pimp and his concubine need to leave. So Chris takes Candiace outside. He takes Candiace outside. Candiace says, I don't know why I have to not say anything. Why do I have to be? Listen, and when you think about it, why does any person, if something was done wrong to you and you are upset that you felt that something was done wrong to you or something was said about something that you took pride in, and somebody said that shit was low budget. And then somebody stepped to your mom and was like, "What's going on with your daughter and your son-in-law's finances? What's going on? She paying him?" Like, bitch, you don't even, y'all. And then when you're upset about that, everyone is telling you you can't be upset about that because of how you responded. Like, basically her response erases why she responded. That's what it feels like. It's like she is upset. She has a right to be upset. Are you saying she doesn't have a right to be upset? If she doesn't have a right to be upset that something that she cared about, which is her marriage and her project, her baby, she can't care about that to the fact where she can get mad at a person about it. And then when she responds, when the girl says and doubles down and says, "Your shit is low budget. Your mother is low budget." Now all of a sudden, everything that brought us up to that point is eliminated and erased. And now all we're going to do is focus on the person who started it. We're going to focus on how they responded to the response in the chaos they created. That is crazy to me, y'all. That is literally crazy to me. And I really see that is a mentality. It's like, how do you get mad at a person for being mad at a situation? I have a right to be mad at the situation. You called my shit low budget, and you stepped to my mother asking her about what me and my husband do. Like, girl, what? Y'all would never. Y'all get mad if a bitch makes your man's plate, let alone some bitch walking up to your mama talking about your marital finances and then calling your shit low budget. I can't be mad about that. And when you double down and say, "Bitch, I don't give a fuck if you were nice to me." And when you double down and say, "Bitch, your mama is low budget," now I have to modify my behavior because your mother was a drug addict. No. That's not cool, y'all. I don't understand how anybody, that's not cool. It doesn't matter who it is. What they doing in that house is correct. I was like, this is a fucking Twilight Zone. And then she says, "Are you kidding me? When I was a new business owner, everything was low budget. So now I'm supposed to be okay with you saying my shit was low budget while you're sitting here crying because I called your mom low budget. So I'm supposed to be okay with what you did to me. But now how I responded, that's not okay." Y'all don't see that that's crazy? You were just crying about your mother being called low budget. And now this other girl is crying and mad because you called her shit low budget, and she's supposed to just, girl, that's what happens when you start a new business. What are you talking about? First of all, let's talk about, you didn't start the business. You came in when the nigga had 13 franchises. You ain't start shit. Let's be very clear. I don't know what other businesses she got going on, but she can't be talking about the Pop, Lock, and Drop It fucking Chiropractors LLC. She can't be. Because it was already started when she came in the picture. Didn't she say that man had 13 franchises? Okay. So I don't know what you're talking about. When I started my business, it was low budget. Maybe when maybe your dancing business, when you was dancing, because she said she was making $10,000 for 2 hours, baby. I said, come on, bitch. And then he realized, let me just marry her because that's a lot of money every time. I just want to talk to the bitch for 2 hours. Y'all just talking for 2 hours? Okay. For how many? For how many stacks? Okay. Okay, girl. We know. We get it. Okay. Okay, girl. Girl, whatever. I'm supposed to be okay with you calling my shit low budget, but you sitting here crying with your pumpkin head, sitting here crying, talking about, if my mother relapses, girl, shut up. Shut your ass up. She says, but now I'm making $450,000. Everybody's like, girl, Ashley was just staring at her. Did y'all notice how Ashley was just looking at her? Like, I'm trying to figure out what was Ashley thinking as she was looking at Mia talk that shit. Like, what? Are y'all not thinking this is crazy? Because am I the only one that thought I was in a fucking Twilight Zone last night? I was like, what is this shit? This shit is crazy. Really, Mia really acts like she's the only person in the friend group who has money. That's weird. My mother says that every day she doesn't think about getting high. And you brought her on a reality show, and every scene you're in with your mom, you mention how she failed you. But Candiace, responding to her daughter, creating chaos, and her daughter said, your mama is low budget. Your mama's a broke bitch. That is what's going to make your mom relapse. Girl, give me a break. I don't understand why Candiace has to be the bigger person when she was the one with the original issue. So you let me know, why does the person who was wronged in the first place, why do they have to be the bigger person? Why is that the ask or the expectation? I don't think that that's fair. If I have been wronged for something or feel like I've been wronged for something, my anger is letting you know that I'm not happy with how I was being treated, right? That's natural. But you're saying that my anger, I should not be angry. I should allow you to say what you want to me, and I can't say what I want to you. And if I say something to you, now you become the one that everyone is coddling. And now I'm over here with the original issue being asked to be the bigger person. That makes sense to y'all? Chris and Ashley are in the kitchen. He's sweeping. He tells Ashley that motherhood looks good on her, that he still follows her on Instagram. Girl, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But you know what? That's Ashley's point, right? A lot of people in the comments have said white women will go through their lives terrorizing people, sucking dick upside down from a chandelier, up against the wall, fucking their professors, sleeping with married men. And when they decide that they don't want to do that life anymore, they go out and they find a husband, have a baby, and everything is erased. And that's what's happening here with Ashley. So yes, that's the goal. Motherhood is supposed to look good on her so that you can forget all of her transgressions up until the time she gave birth. Even to the point where she could lay on a table, go back and forth with Candiace, and Candiace is supposed to know that she was going in labor and modify how she was responding to tweets. If y'all don't see a pattern here, I don't know what to tell you. Remember when everybody told Candiace that she needed to apologize for going back and forth with Ashley while Ashley was on the labor and delivery table? How was Candiace supposed to know that when the actual person who was in labor was going back and forth with me? Now you're telling me I have to apologize because she had a baby? This shit is crazy! This shit is crazy! It is fucking crazy. Michael called Candiace a criminal, but Ashley wants to sit up there and say, well, you know your wife called me wide. Bitch, you are wide. Ashley, she really sat there and was like, well, your wife called me wide. What? Are you kidding me right now? Your husband called my wife a criminal, and you're sitting up here telling me that my wife called you wide? Are you kidding me right now? Because you know, and what she did, right? She's wide, and she called me a milkmaid, and there's people who are breastfeeding and all this. Girl, shut up. I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you something, and it's gonna sound horrible coming from a woman. Girl, everybody, most female humans have an ability between certain ages to have babies. Right? What you did, bitch, is not an accomplishment. It is not a great feat. Okay? You are not treated any different because you had a baby while you're walking through terrorizing everybody, talking shit. Just because you had a baby, it does not absolve that. You having a baby doesn't make you better than nobody. To the point where nobody can come to you and say nothing to you. And everybody has to apologize to you in behaviors that you took part in. You were participating, and Candiace has to apologize to you. And Candiace calls your husband a slave driver. Well, he's driving slaves. I'm so glad she didn't back down from none of that shit with Ashley at that table. I am so glad. I am so glad. Robin and Giselle get there. I love the fact that they didn't have a bathroom. Bitch, I was just at your house and you sat up there and told me, right? You told me that I would have had to use a bathroom outside. So when you come on this trip, find your bathroom. Now, I can understand Robin being upset because she said she's on her period, so she wants to have her own space. I completely understand Robin. She had an attitude the whole time. She wasn't even laughing. She was looking at Ashley and Candiace. I'm going to get to what they said at the end. But girl, I can understand Robin's point. But then, oh yeah, because Giselle had a boot on. I can't believe you would. Basically, she's saying, I can't believe you wouldn't make accommodations for me. You want me to make accommodations for you 3 days after you told me you were mad at me because of how I responded to you saying that my husband was possibly cheating on me, and that's the reason why I got plastic surgery. And so because of that, you were mad at me and didn't want me to come into your bathroom, right? And said that I would have to use a bathroom outside and even told me to leave your house. But when you come to this trip, I am supposed to make a trip that you told me that you were not coming on. I'm supposed to make accommodations for you. And you're supposed to have a special bathroom, one you were intending on not extending to me. You see how that shit works? You see how that shit, I don't know if Wendy did that intentionally. I don't know how it was set up. But the mere fact that the bathroom is the center character right here, bitch, you don't have a bathroom. You just told me you wouldn't extend your bathroom to me. So you find your bathroom when you come to where I'm hosting. That's what you get, bitch. Chris is helping Giselle up with the bag. She's asking him, where's this? Where's that? Chris said, honey, I don't even know. I just came here to drink. I know that's right. I'm out of here. Don't ask me shit like I'm your fucking butler. While in the next scene, you're going to go against my wife because she called that bitch low budget. Fuck you. Figure it out. Find your restroom, girl. Find your restroom. Candiace comes in there all happy and gleeful and stuff and jumping on Robin, and I just like, Candiace, you look ridiculous at this point. To me, you look ridiculous jumping on Robin. Robin in the next scene after that said, you look like you're asking for it. That's what she said. Because remember how she sat there and was laughing about what happened with Monique, and Monique lost control, and now you're saying that here she's looking like she's asking for it and that she didn't learn her lesson. Candiace, don't hop up on Robin no more. Don't hop up on her back unless you hopping from the back and you doing like this, okay? Don't hop up on that bitch's wide back no more, okay? And don't run to jump up in Giselle's arms anymore. Girl, what the fuck is wrong with you? Did she see the hurt in my face? Because all of a sudden, they're like, I wanted to talk to you about that. I wanted to talk to you about her. No, y'all have said, did your mother give you this? Did your mother do this? Your mother's paying for this? Is Dorothy trying to tell her she's paying for this? Did your mother buy your engagement ring? Did your mother? What do you mean we don't talk about mothers? My mother has been the nucleus of my goddamn storyline. So how the fuck are you going to tell me that we don't talk about mothers? You talk about my mother. Y'all even say I'm such a fucking child and treat me as such because of the relationship with my mother. So you can't tell me we don't talk about mothers here. So, but did we forget that the reason why we're here is because Candiace was upset because the lady called her shit low budget and stepped to her mom to talk about her marital finances? Because that's the beginning. I want everybody to start there. Start there. Please start there, because that's where it started. If that didn't happen, none of this would have happened. None of this would have happened. Nobody's mother would have been called low budget. You walking in between women who have just as much money as you and calling them broke bitches. Like, why are you even here? Do you not? Is this the way that you were taught to relate to women? By making them feel bad in some way? By stepping on their projects and making them feel bad about what's going on in their business careers, and then tell me to use it as constructive criticism. You're not a video director. You're not nothing. Have nothing to do with, I'm not going to take nothing you say as constructive criticism when your criticism is not constructive. It is destructive. You weren't trying to be constructive. You were trying to tear her down, because that's what you do. You try to tear people down in order to make yourself feel better about yourself. That's the template. That's the insecurities. That's why they said you need to go to therapy. Because the only way you seem to be able to relate to women is by punching down, right? Let's use that term. It's really by putting them down to make yourself feel better about yourself. Why would you call somebody shit low budget? That is to denote that you are used to something different, something of a better standard. This shit is low budget. This is beneath me. Everybody knows what that means. And somehow, some way, you want me to care, even though I was trying to be nice to you. I invited you to my video shoot, even though you got there and you stepped over boundaries and called my shit low budget. I was trying to be nice to you. Oh, I don't care that you were trying to be nice to me. I don't care. But let me tell you about my crackhead mama. No, we're not doing that. Why do I care? Am I supposed to care now? No, I don't care. I don't care. Do y'all think that Candiace has a right to feel a way about her project, her first project, being called low budget? Again, how would you like it if you had a project that you took pride in? And that maybe that's why people don't understand it. Maybe they don't have anything that they ever created and presented to the world and wanted to do well at it. And then for somebody to come in, and then according to the women, there is a mutual agreement among them. I've heard on too many after shows, too many. There's a mutual agreement that we don't come for each other's businesses. So is Candiace not okay to be mad? Maybe it's okay for her to be mad but not respond in the way that she responds. But then why do I have to modify how I respond when I have a right to be angry? And then you're saying, okay, well, she needs to suffer the consequences. But nobody's really in their adult life fighting like that. Like, nobody's really fighting like that. Like women in their mid-30s and late 30s and trying to establish themselves. But people are not fighting as a course of conflict resolution. So I can be upset and I can get mad, and you call my project low budget, and I respond in a way that you don't like. Now you're telling me my response, I should modify my response. So you can do whatever you want to me, and I need to modify the way that I respond to mistreatment. How does that work? How do you propose that somebody modify the way that they're mistreated? We see people protesting all the time, and they tell you peaceful protest. But the words peaceful and protest are opposite words. I'm angry about something, but you're telling me that I need to be peaceful in my anger. Is that what you're telling? Is that what we're suggesting that Candiace does? Help me out. Then they're all sitting around the table or whatever. I really don't understand how Ashley, she started the conversation. Even Mia, when Candiace was going to check on Chris, you need to go check on your husband. This is, again, now say if she said, bitch, shut the fuck up. She told her, shut up. Like, we're not cool. Don't say nothing to me. Because what I say back, I'm not going to modify what I say back to you, black gums and all. I'm not. You're just going to have to take it. Because I had to take what you just said to me. I had to take it. You didn't modify what you said to me. I'm not about to modify what I said to you. And Ashley, to Ashley's point, why aren't you trying to bring order in situations where you see chaos? But it's ironic, right? That the one who causes the chaos is asking someone else, why didn't you bring order to the chaos I created, me and my friends? We created chaos. Why you didn't bring order? Why you didn't come get Candiace? Why do I need to come get Candiace? Why didn't you guys tell your friends, leave that girl alone because she's liable to say something that will hurt your feelings? But you allow your homegirl, your castmate, to be said, anything could be said to her. Anything could be said to her, but she can't say nothing back. It's crazy. I haven't said anything about your husband, but your wife has. Your husband called my wife a criminal. He says crazy things about my wife. So my wife, once again, is being asked to modify her behaviors because your sexual predator husband has slick shit to say about her. So once again, we're asking Candiace to modify her behavior while predators are calling her criminal. Are y'all with me? Does anyone else feel like they're in the Twilight Zone? Does anybody else feel like they're in the Twilight Zone? Ashley starts doing this with her head. Always. That head get to bobbing, honey. She knows it's a lethal weapon. You don't have nothing to say to Candiace. You want to talk about, girl, what she say? What did she say to Candiace? Girl, you shut the fuck up. You trying to get, what did she tell her? Girl, you trying to get your shit together. Or something she said to Candiace. When Candiace said, girl, you are a fucked up individual. I remember the shit you did. And then Ashley is over there saying, oh, bitch, you can't get it right to save your motherfucking life. That's what she said. Can't get what right? I got it right. Bitch, you're a fucked up individual. I got it right. Every time I come for you, bitch, I got it right. Every single thing I say about you, Ashley, I got it right. Everything. And that's why you're so bothered. Because we can drag you from your mama to your man, honey. All day. And every single time, we got it right. So I don't know what the fuck you talking about. You trying to get it, motherfucker. She got it right. She said it right the first time. You're a bitch. And you're a fucked up individual. And I have smoke for you every single time. Rightfully so. There's no room for you to be chaotic up in here, bitch. Fuck you. I remember what the fuck you did to me. I don't even want to talk to you about it. I just don't. She has no room. Like, she literally has no room to move. Like, you have audacity, and that's all you have, to sit here and say that your husband has a problem with me. I have a problem with your husband. He likes to put his hands on people without their permission. I have a problem with your husband. Your husband called me a criminal. Your husband should have a problem with me because I have a problem with you, with him. So let's be clear about that. We have a problem with each other. You are anticipating a repair because you want me to, apologize to your husband? What do you want me to do? Girl, you're crazy. Chris gets up and leaves. Fuck all y'all. He gets up and leaves and he walks out. Dre goes and gets him. They tell her, you need to go get your husband. Ashley says, I can't believe that. You're sitting here. That's the shit that you went through and you had her finger in her face. Like, she told the story that happened in the kitchen all wrong. And then Giselle, hopped on that. And then when she was Giselle was trying to say, Ashley didn't have nothing to do with what happened between you and Monique. Yes, she had nothing to do with it, which makes it even crazier that she put herself in it by agreeing to write a character assassination letter against me. She wasn't in it, but she chose to be in it as revenge against me, and I'm not supposed to have venom for her. Once again, we are asking Candiace to modify her behavior based on how she responds. Y'all don't like how she responds, so she has to modify. So no one has to modify their treatment to her, but she has to modify how she responds, right? And in order for you to see the humanity, is that what we're talking about? It's almost as if she's asking for it. Robin, you literally rolled up on a woman for saying that you and Juan had 42 cents in your bank account. But somehow, someway, you can't it's weird because it's like you can't understand why she's acting like this. No one understands why she's acting like this. No one understands. And then Ashley goes, she wants to play victim and not take accountability. You guys are always asking her to respond to apologize for a response to what she perceives as mistreatment. It really doesn't make sense, and I feel like it's extremely toxic to do that. Like, I don't have to modify how I treat you, but because you respond better than me, you go deeper than me, now I need you to modify how you respond to me. And if your behavior is out of order and you go low or you go deep or you go below the belt, now what you've done to me is completely erased, and I need to everybody needs to focus on me apologizing for my reaction to mistreatment. I just need to understand what we're asking out of this person. Like, are we asking, we're asking for her to be okay with mistreatment. We're asking for her not to respond so harshly, right? I do think Candiace needs to get to a place where she regulates her emotional reaction. But if you have to, I think what comes at, like what I said the other day, is like she is reacting and crying like someone who hasn't been heard, right? And so when you're around people who constantly say that you have childlike behavior, you guys have really given her that label, right? The lady you give, what's her name? The Karen, she's the mother of the group or the matriarch of the group. Candiace is the little sister who the big stepsister comes in with her big feet. She comes in here telling the little sister, and the little sister got a mouth on her, and the little sister cuts her at her fucking kneecaps, and now the little sister is crying because she's not being heard, and nobody around her has her back because her reaction is so lethal. That's not fair, y'all. That's not cool. And then to me, I feel like if you guys know that a person responds in a way that goes so deep, you should tell people to leave them alone. If you want me to modify my reaction to your mistreatment of me, you need to stop mistreating me. You're not going to mistreat me and then tell me how to respond to the mistreatment. Right? You're not going to take a slingshot with a little pebble and take it and hit me and be mad when I send a bazooka back. You can't be mad, bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry all you had was a little pebble and a slingshot. And I'm sorry I had a bazooka. But you should have never shot your slingshot. You should have never shot your slingshot. I wouldn't have to send over a bazooka. Girl, next time you'll know. Maybe you need to modify how you treat people. This show is crazy to me. Karen said, this is a pissing contest and nobody's running out of piss. Nobody's running out of urine. Robin, it seems like she's holding on to stuff from last year. Robin, Ashley actually brought it up. She brought it up. So why are you saying she's holding? If Ashley didn't bring it up, she wouldn't have remembered and then responded and then was re-triggered. Girl, like, are y'all crazy? Like, do they get psychological evaluations before they come on the show? Like, honestly. Every year, I feel like when the season starts, everyone needs to have a psychological evaluation, because this is like the Twilight Zone. It literally is like the Twilight Zone. She needs to, I don't know. I mean, I want to say, I just think that Candiace needs to get to a point where she is not moved so quickly, right? Like, and it does not help, because while I'm in defense of myself, sitting at a table where I know historically no one defends me, so I already know I have to defend myself. So if I'm in defense mode, don't grab my hands. I need to fight for myself, because nobody else is going to fight for me. So right now, I need to fight for myself. Don't grab my hands while I'm fighting for myself, unless I'm about to hurt myself or I'm about to hurt that other person. But leave me alone. Don't touch me. I'm in defense mode. You make it worse. You do not bring order to the situation by doing that. You don't bring order to the situation by doing that. You don't. You just don't. You don't. Giselle really said that Ashley wasn't part of that. So I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't understand why Ashley was not part of that. And she didn't have to be a part of that. She made herself a part of that. And Candiace goes, she can say what she wants to say and I'm supposed to say nothing? Yes, Candiace. That's what the people are asking of you. They're asking for you to modify your reaction to being mistreated. That's what they're asking you. It's really sad, and it's not just Candiace. This happens to people all the time. I mean, as a collective, I think the Black community can say, like, we respond to mistreatment, and then they tell you, no, you can't respond this way. It's like, how do you expect somebody to respond to mistreatment? It's the same template. And it's really crazy because it does look colorist. It does look crazy. It looks like we don't see the humanity in this person, but we see the humanity in this person. So we're going to coddle this person because this woman was a foster kid, and but never mind that every single time y'all making jokes about this woman and her mother, like, her relationship with her mother has been the butt of the jokes. Oh, your mother's house? We're in your mother's house. All that kind of stuff, right? Did your mother buy this for me? It's always something about Candiace's mother. And that's why it doesn't help when Dorothy does that kind of stuff, because all they have done is use Dorothy as ammunition. They use her mother, the way that she acts towards her daughter, as ammunition. You're treated like a child, apparently, because, your mother made sure you didn't have to want for anything. And so we don't feel sorry for you, even though the psychology of your relationship with your mom is really crazy. But this lady over here, she was a foster child. Even though she's, presents as though she has money now, we have to worry about her, and we have to see the humanity in her. We don't see the humanity in this woman here and how she's feeling. She cries too much. She gets too angry. That's too angry, girl. No, that's too angry. Oh, are you okay? Don't nobody have to tell you how to feel. Nobody can make you, like, Mia gets the pep talks. The pep talk that really Candiace should have gotten. Don't let nobody make your shit feel low budget. You know what the fuck you had to do to get your shit off the ground. Don't let this bitch come in here, this brand new bitch you don't even fucking know, and trample all over your shit because the only way she knows how to make herself feel better is by pushing another woman down. Fuck her. Where was that conversation to Candiace? Who was there to have that talk? How come she doesn't get the pep talk? Like, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. And again, if we start at A, Candiace is the one with the grievance. And you've taken her grievance and flipped it around because she responded and said, your mama is low budget. This is literally the Twilight Zone. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.